So you may have seen the banner in-game that says Oceania World Cup is live or some other variant of it. You checked it out and immediately get hooked by the 4 players going nuts on a particularly dense map that you don't even understand how it is possible to play. There's one problem though, the Mappools structure. What's RC? LN? HB? Are these mods? Well, you've come to the right place. I'm here to give you an explainer on how Oceania Tournament Mappools work in most cases. Just a small disclaimer though, I will focus on the Oceania 7K World Cup. If you're more of a 4K kind of person, most of the concepts here should still carry over just fine. Without further ado, let's get started. The first thing you have to know about Oceania map pools is that these are split up according to the content of the maps. So the RC, LN, or HB mods that you see in the map pool screen are actually not mods. You can probably think of it as Mania's equivalent of slot pooling, but much more fleshed out. Rice, or RC. I should first explain where Rice comes from. It's a pretty old vertical scrolling rhythm game, or VSRG term, for plain, regular notes. In contrast, long notes, more on this later, are called noodles. This is because regular notes, well, look like rice, and long notes, you get the point. Maps that are in the RC pool are just made out of regular notes, with minimal to no long note usage at all. Prevalent pattern types here are chord streams, delay streams, chord jacks, and some very technical charting where finger control is most important. These maps tend to be biased to those players who come from a Beatmania, or I should probably say BMS background, due to their charts being primarily focused on this particular style. Charts here tend to be extremely straining physically due to the amount of muscle exertion needed, especially in the later stages. Long notes, or LN. A different part of the player base thrives off long note charts. Unlike rice charts, LNs tend to focus on the 2 main mechanics of the titular note type, the hold and the release. In Oceania, both actions have timing windows, similar to how long notes work on the VSRG O2 Jam, which is often considered to be the noodle game in 7K circles. Charts here tend to focus a lot on overlapping and complex hold patterns. The pools categorize them based on how dense or how control heavy the chart is. Examples of which are LN coordination, where players are tasked to deal with complex overlapping LN, and LN density that serves as a catch-all term for the densest and most physical pick in the LN pool. Pattern recognition is a very important skill set here, because to an extent, the speed of which players recognize LN patterning determine their proficiency in playing them. Hybrids, or HB. Hybrid charts combine the concepts in the RC and LN pools together. This means that the maps here tend to be more of a wildcardy nature strategy-wise. Categorization here tends to be a bit more varied from tournament to tournament, but is usually a variant of how straightforward the chart is to how outlandish it could be. These charts often lend themselves to be the "I'm not sure if my opponents can do rice or LN only, so I might as well check this first" picks. Strategic HB picks, or the more offensive picks, do happen when teams are just that confident going into the map. The round's tiebreaker is also charted as a hybrid map. So that's pretty much it for Oceania tournament pool structures. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't cover here, like the reason why Mania doesn't use the usual mod suspects like Hidden, Hard Rock, or Double Time, and be a bit more specific with pattern types. Regardless, I hope that this guide is very useful for you, and we hope to see you around whenever the Oceania World Cup rolls around.